always trying to find out where they are exactly, getting information from them, what's bothering them in terms of communications from us. What do they want to hear more from us about? Then parlaying that into communicating with them about it so that they feel heard.
Rosheika, what's up?
Not much. It's Monday.
It is Monday. And
it's gray outside.
I know. It's so gray and cold. You're right. I love it. You don't love it?
No. It reminds me of London days.
Oh, my girl's like, I'm so depressed. It's terrible out there. I'm like, I didn't know you lived in London. Was it this all the time?
9 months of the year.
Oh, God. I think I could do it, but if I had to do it for months on end, I think I wouldn't like it.
No, you wouldn't.
I like it because I get the opposite, right?
Yeah. After the first couple of months, you're like, why is it pitch black at 5?
My son lives in Stockholm, Sweden, and right now they have sunlight from like 9:30 to like 2:30. That's it. Isn't that wild?
Yep. I used to leave classes at 4:30, and I'm walking home, and there's nothing in the sky. It's just black, and it was miserable.
Yeah, exactly.
On top of it being cold.
Yeah.
And raining.
Yeah, called like 30s and 40s and raining is actually colder than like cold and snowing, I think.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah. Did you bring a dad joke? You know the way this works.
Yes.
What you got?
Why doesn't the shellfish farmer run?
Why doesn't the shellfish farmer
run?
Run, why?
He pulled a muscle.
That's pretty good. I like that.
My husband said it's an 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
Out of 10. But I think it's a 10 out of 10 joke.
I like it. I got one. I'm excited about mine. I'm usually not. So it's very seasonal as well. So what do you call a wreath made out of $100 bills?
Tell me.
A wreath of Franklin's.
That's actually good.
Thank you. We
killed it. You know she used to walk around with her, you used to have to pay her in cash before she went on stage.
Oh, for real?
Yes.
Oh,
so she was very serious about her money, so that's what makes it even funnier.
She literally had a wreath of a Franklin, for sure. Well, look, you're on Team Alloy, which we're super proud to have you. But I want people to get to know you. Just give us your role, first of all, so they understand contextually what you do. And then we'll talk about your background a little bit.
Okay, so my role is to work with the franchisees. I communicate with them a lot. My role is focused on ensuring that they have all the information they need. We already gave them the blueprint, but it's about breaking down the blueprint consistently. Telling them, hey, for example, Christmas is around the corner. Here are some strategies of how to retain personnel and membership throughout the holidays when people are usually not as active. But this is how you can ensure that Alloy is at top of mind. I'm very focused on ensuring that they have consistency in communications at all times, especially during the busier periods of people's lives, such as holidays.
What we realize is we have a lot of assets in place for franchisees, tools and resources, and we've got challenges they can run throughout the year, but we just don't communicate it well, right? So it's like, all right, well, we first started out like, we need a marketing person. I'm like, well, not really, because really what we already have a lot of things. We need someone who can communicate in a timely manner throughout the year with franchisees. So I remember last year we had like, I think it's like August or something. It's like National Dog Month. I'm like, oh, it'd be cool if we had a calendar ahead of time, and then we could have done get a picture with your Alloy shirt and your dog and made it a big social media play, right? But it takes planning and it takes communication, and it's like, and so like, we're excited to have you here, but tell everyone your background. Like, how did you get, I mean, obviously you lived in England. She's not from Atlanta, if you haven't noticed by the accent, even though she's well entrenched in Atlanta now. We've got our hooks in her. We're not letting her go. But tell us about your background.
Okay, so I'm Jamaican, and I started out in journalism. So I did my first degree in journalism, and about a year in, I was like, this is way too much work for way little money. Like, it was.
Were you in Jamaica at that time? Okay.
So I lived in Jamaica until about 4 years ago, and I decided I need to do something new, and I tried PR, public relations, and I loved it. I was able to work on national campaigns. I worked in the private sector and then the public sector. So fun. You're able to work on projects and tell a story so many different ways, which is one of the reasons I really like this role, because it gives you an opportunity to communicate with their members all the time, but in different ways. And so I worked in private sector. I love sports. And I decided to do my master's in sports management, which was so fun. I lived in the UK for a year. And then I moved here because I got married.
Right, yeah.
So my husband and I lived in New York for a year, and then we moved to Atlanta. But I've worked in public relations, marketing, advertising over the last decade. And My focus has been mostly on creating campaigns from scratch, building strategy, and then distributing the communications in different ways. So, for example, I've worked on a breast cancer run, and a big part of that is increasing member participation every year. And because you want to raise funds, it's about reaching the same people, but also attracting new people and using the stories of how the funds raised at the event has helped breast cancer survivors. And this is how we use the money you pay to participate in the run, but also using advertising campaigns. So you have PR, you have marketing, you have advertising. You tie it all together to tell a beautiful story of when you are running for, you're not just running for activeness, you're also running to help people survive breast cancer. You're helping to pay for treatment. You're helping for them to pay for counseling. And so that's what I love about communications. You're telling the story from so many different angles.
Yeah, no, I love it. And I think that was a blind spot for us is like, well, we have all these assets. We need to communicate them better to franchisees. There's also multiple channels. There's a owner Slack page. There's the Google stuff. There's email, all the other things. And so it's been good. I mean, so far, I know it's a lot to organize because there could be something going on at all times,
yes.
Right? And obviously, some of the things are fun to communicate. Like, hey, we've got this new initiative that we've created for you guys. And sometimes it's like, hey, we're raising our tech fee, and that goes down like a poop sandwich. It's like,
yes.
And that's just franchising at times. You just have to do certain things, certain times. So if you had to ideally guess or build a structure, how many times do you think you have to communicate something? How much communication does it take? Because things are noisy.
Yes.
Right? Like in general, there's a million emails, and like they might be hearing from somebody on our team and somebody else from our team, and then they get the email from you. And so it's like, how many times do you think you have to get something in front of someone, or in what format that it actually sticks? Does that make sense?
Yes. So format is actually what matters there.
Okay.
In terms of, you don't want to just use email only, for example, to reach out to persons. So if we're launching a new initiative, it's great to use things like webinars to say, hey, put this in front of them and explain it, break it down. And then you can use graphics, you can use podcasts, you can use newsletters and emails. Plus we have like our chats, our Slack channel, we have our Google group chats. So it's about sending the same information out, but in different formats. So on the podcast, you may break it down in a lot more informal way, or in the webinar, it may be a lot more informal, but it's about getting to them as quickly as possible, but making it so that a 5-year-old can understand it.
Right.
But in the email, you may make it long form depending on the type of information. So if it's like a tech fee, you probably have to explain, hey, this is why we're increasing the tech fee.
Right.
But if it's something more fun, you can break it down in a podcast format or a webinar format, or just use a graphic. So it's about using different media to communicate the same thing, but knowing from the get-go what will communicate this best.
Interesting. And I guess it depends on the information you're trying to disseminate,
yes.
Right? It's like, okay, if this is heavier, more tactical, it's going to take this format. If this is more fun or whatever, this one has assets, so it needs a link to go to find the things and like little guides, for us. But interesting.
So it's knowing what you want to say, but also knowing where it will be more impactful. So that's a big part of my role, knowing how I should communicate a new piece of information or a new initiative. So, for example, if you're changing something within guides, yes, you're going to tell them you're changing something within guides, but a nice graphic showing this is what we had before and this is what we're building now. For someone that just picks up that information, it will be much easier. So when they do go in there, like, oh yeah, they changed these things, so it will look different, and this is why it's different. I tell a story all the time. A company I worked with, they donated a television to a police station, and initially, they were like, oh, yeah, we're just going to send out the photos to local media. And I was like, there are lots of ways to maximize it. They posted on their social media with the police explaining why they needed televisions within the station. And then in the print, we shared how this will help the community that the police station operates in. And of course, you have the photo, but we told that story across social media and in traditional media. And it all sounded a little bit different, but it was the same thing. We're donating this TV. It's a pretty cheap TV, but you were able to maximize publicity out of it and let people know, hey, yes, we sell gas, but we're also very invested in the communities around. And so it's about finding different ways to tell the same thing and make it interesting.
And it depends on the audience too. Like if we're trying to speak to like the end users of an alloy, like the customers of a location, there may be some things there that are different than when we're speaking to franchisees, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, that's why we hired you, because it's like, all right, here's what we have. Like, you look at it with your experience and figure out how to disseminate and distribute this information in the right medium at the right time. You know, our franchise development marketing company, Moon Mission, who I know you've had some interaction with, right?
Yes.
They do a good job of that. So like if we're like, hey, we remapped the lower 48 for territories, and now we've discovered all these new territories, because we only had mapped the 150 major markets.
Okay.
But we went back and mapped the whole country, right? So it's like, well, let's make this announcement. So then we go to, say, Moon Mission. It's like, hey, this is exciting news for existing owners that want to add locations and or, you know, like the franchise consultants that send us leads. It's like, hey, we've got more territory than we used to have. So it's like more runway, right? And so we did a podcast about it. They wrote a blog about it. They transcribed the podcast, right? And they put all these things together to say, hey, we have more territory now, right? And then where we didn't really have you in at the time, it's like, well, we didn't even really able to promote it that well within, right?
Within the network.
Yeah, to say, hey, if you want to add some locations, now's your shot, right? Now we've opened up some more for you. So there might be a market that you haven't even looked at that's like wide open.
Yep.
Do you think it has to be a certain number? I know in advertising, it's like there's these, I don't know how true these are, but you just hear like, oh, you have to see things 7 times or 9 times before you respond to it. Do you think internally with franchisees, is it that same thing? Or is it just what you mentioned earlier, like putting different information in the proper medium based on what it is and who the audience is? Like, is there a number of touches that people need?
There are a number of touches, but in terms of, it's different because of internal communications. It's so different from advertising to external audiences, because internally there is already a buy-in because they've bought the franchise.
Right.
So it's about telling them why it's important to them and ensuring that you make it top of mind consistently. So for example, if I'm working on the content calendar for Q1,
yes,
we may make it and people not use it. However, it's my job to ensure that they know it's there and what value it has. So they may not be a number because internal communications is so different, but it's about, of course, using the metrics that I would have had on the back end of how often are they opening the emails. Or the other day I was able to get some information from our intranet to see what are they searching for most on guides, for example. Using that information to develop the strategy that I communicate with. That's what's more important than the number of touches that
because they're already bought in.
Because they're already bought in.
Yeah. To make a buy decision, it's 7 to 9 or whatever. But if they're already in, well, I like that. I didn't realize you were data mining to find out, like, okay, what do people really want to know more about?
Yes.
Let's lean into that, right?
So that's something that we got that information about 2 weeks ago. And for me, I will be focusing on getting that information at least once a month so that I can see, okay, they're confused about, or they need more, they are checking regularly for marketing strategies or challenges, or outside of workouts, what are they looking for on guides a lot on the intranet. So that's something that can be really useful versus, hey, I need to send out 7 emails about the same thing. In an internal network, that's not necessary. It's more about knowing what they need and always changing and ensuring that it matches that as much as possible.
It's like more of a sniper shot than a scattershot shotgun, right? It's like, because advertising is like bang everywhere and like whatever speaks to you, but this is more precise, right?
Yes.
Especially if you knew on the back end, okay, this is what our franchisees are interested in right now. We have resources. Let me just communicate that and then redirect them.
Exactly. Right? So it's just about reaching them where they are, but always trying to find out where they are exactly.
Right.
So, of course, like with our franchise advisory board, getting information from them, what's bothering them in terms of communications from us. What do they want to hear more from us about? And then parlaying that into communicating with them about it so that they feel heard.
Yes.
Because that's a part of internal communications. They're bought in, but them feeling heard will help the relationship to be even more seamless.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, no, 100%. I love it. So it's hard to measure, like, just conceptually, like, let's say a year from now, right? You've got it all dialed in. You've got your systems, you're checking data and you're communicating. how would you know that you've been successful? Like in your mind, a year from now, you're like, I'm doing a great job at blank. What would that look like for you?
That would look like they feel like they're hearing from headquarters more, and that they feel like they're getting more bang for their buck. So yes, the guides is there, but them being told consistently, hey, monthly socials are coming up. Ensure that you have, spring is coming up, and monthly socials, we should be having those for client retention. Here are some ideas. If you're in the West, or if you're on the West Coast or the East Coast, here are some things we suggest, because spring can be a lot colder in certain areas.
Sure, yeah.
But them having the information on guides versus us saying, hey, these are the things you can do, which is what I'm working on right now. This will make me feel like my year has been a success, because they will feel the impact of the new role. They are able to point to things that they're doing within their different locations differently because of the type of direction that they're getting from my role.
Yeah, and I feel like for me, it's important that there's a value proposition, not just to the end users, but to the franchisees, right?
Yes.
From us,
Yep.
because they bought into a system. And I feel like we've done notoriously a poor job at communicating the assets that we already have in place. So like for me, a win for you would be like the whole uplift of maybe franchisor relations, even though we're really kind to each other and we practice sincere candor and all the things. Like if they were like, this is awesome, the perception was there's a ton of resources here for me and they're being accurately communicated.
Yes.
That just lifts the whole mood
Yep.
and quite honestly, the performance of the franchise, because a lot of the things are really good. I mean, they're good for retention, or they're good for sales, or both. Would you agree?
Definitely. So last week I sent out the holiday retention toolkit, and what I included in was a few templates of emails to share with their members. Say, hey, we're going to be closed on these days during December, or checking in on how you're doing. You've been able to be active during the time. I know you haven't been into the studio, but how are you doing? That's a part of client retention. If, for example, in January, 10 franchisees tell us that, hey, we did these things and it turned out to be a success, that's a mark of success for me.
Right, yeah.
Because we were able to give them something that already existed in terms of assets, and they were able to utilize it to make an impact in their location. So that's what's important to me, being able to help their day-to-day get better. Not just in terms of getting new members, but also retaining the members they have.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, I love your lens on it. If that's a win to you, that's also a win for me. Glad to hear that. And we're so glad that you're here. That's really all the questions I had for you. I mean, I think it's pretty basic. It's like, it's a very difficult job. I love your background. I love your approach. So far, you've done amazing. So props to you. And we're really thankful to have you on the team. I have some bonus questions for you. Ready for this?
Sure.
All right. So yes or no on these traditional Jamaican dishes? I'll start out with the easy ones, but like, do you like these or not? Okay. You ready? Mm-hmm. Jerk chicken.
Yes.
Okay. Plantains.
Yes.
You're like, come on, hit me with someone. Okay, ready? Oxtail.
Of course. You said it right. Americans say it wrong. They say oxtails. It's actually oxtail.
Yeah, well, there you go. I didn't try.
Yeah, Americans always say oxtails, and I'm like, leave the S off.
Oxtail, yeah, exactly. Curry goat.
My favorite.
Really?
And I make the best curry goat, FYI.
I'm killing this. This is amazing. I'm like, I thought you'd be like, nah.
No,
All right.
I love curry.
All right, I got another. Okay, how about this? Ackee and saltfish.
I cooked that yesterday.
Did you really?
Yes.
Yesterday you
Yes.
made ackee and saltfish?
Yes, I
Oh,
made
you're
that.
the best. I'm killing this game. Okay, brown starfish. Is that right?
But brown stew fish?
Stewfish. I didn't write it wrong. I'm like, why would there be a brown starfish? Like,
I would want to know too.
yeah, exactly. It's like, brown stewfish.
No.
Y'all got one, right? All right, cool. And then I can't read my own writing.
I can't do
gungo rice and peas.
Not a fan.
Really?
No.
So the last two are not
My
so
mom
much.
makes a great gungo and
So
rice.
it's gungo
And rice.
Gungo
yeah.
rice. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But not, what is gungo?
It's like beans, but it's like a much. Do you know red kidney beans?
Yeah.
It's like a much smaller version of it.
Okay.
Yeah. They
Is it
usually
spicy?
make it around. No, they usually make it around Christmas. My mom grows her own gungos, so she's very proud of it. So I have it when she cooks it.
Fine, I'll eat it, but it's not very spicy.
No, it's not very spicy, but you can. No, it's not very spicy.
Like I like red beans and rice if it's spicy or it's
Yeah.
got some taste to it. You know, I
Yeah.
don't know if I could do it just.
Yeah, we do rice and peas. That's what we call red beans and rice. It's a very popular dish, especially on Sundays. So
right,
most
well-
Sundays they cook that.
I really want to try some curry goat since you said it was amazing.
Cargot is great.
And then ackee and saltfish sounds disgusting, but I bet you it's really good. What is ackee?
It's like a fruit, and then you cook it with the saltfish, so that's where you get the protein. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think of what is similar here. There's not much that's similar in here compared to it, but it's like our national dish.
Is it?
And it's fantastic.
Glad to hear it. All right, Rosheika. Well, thank you for coming on. Thanks for explaining what you do. I'm excited to have you. If you're an Alloy franchisee, communications are going to get better, clearly. And if you're not with Alloy and you're thinking about it, these are just the resources that we're putting together for you. So thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, cheers.